Well, welcome, brothers and sisters. Pro-life leader Frank Pavone here, director of Priests for Life. Welcome to my daily diary segment. I love telling you what I did because I love what I do, and I'm grateful for your support for what we do. What did I do from Tuesday, the 7th of May, through Thursday, the 9th of May of 2024? So Tuesday, the 7th, started out early here at my office, here in the studio doing early taping before the sun came up, before the staff came in. Tapings for days that I would be traveling, and had the morning staff meetings to get the day underway, to help them get oriented for their tasks, and did a lot of email work at my desk. And for example, the special letter to our highest donors, the award we got in Texas for our Rachel's Vineyard work from the governor. Looking to do a broadcast with some staff members, doing some initial planning for that and planning for its distribution. The spots that we do for the liturgy and for other online educational work. Some ads that we are preparing and purchasing space for. Approvals for email appeals of various types. Preparation for pro-life marches in various states. Communication with various pro-life groups and networking with their leaders. Some work for the National Pro-Life Religious Council, for which I am president, preparation for a visit by one of our friends in media, 115 Forum mailings. And that's the leadership group of the pro-life movement. Invitations for a special political conference next month where I'm inviting priests to join me. Some communications regarding the second year anniversary of Dobbs celebration in Washington, and also work on preparing online show notes for some of our broadcasts. So those were some of the things that kept me busy at my desk. Did a lot of morning work. Got picked up at 9:30 a.m. on Tuesday the 7th to go to the airport. Continued working on my laptop in the car, at the gate, and on the plane. Flew from Orlando to Detroit. Landed in Detroit in the late afternoon, settled in at the hotel there at the airport, checked in with my staff and did a little bit of work there in the hotel room, including some phone calls that I had to make and approvals I had to give for staff work, and then was picked up there at the hotel and driven to Livonia. So it was about an hour's drive. And in the car, I was on my laptop again. I had to catch up on a bunch of emails, again, the topics that I mentioned to you already. But then went to this marvelous gala banquet, maybe about 400 to 500 people, for Right to Life Lifespan. This is one of the state pro-life groups there in Michigan, and I gave a vigorous talk for about 45 minutes about the upcoming election. You could actually hear that talk on online and on my social media, but was there at the gala. I always say to the people, I like to be the first one there and the last one out. I was literally the last one out of the room. The chairs were already stacked. Tablecloths were taken off the tables by the hotel staff. It was a fabulous event, and so many good conversations with so many pro-life people, many of whom have been following us for many years, some of whom are just learning about us. And then got in the car for the hour's drive back to the airport hotel, this time, of course, with less traffic than before, but nevertheless, work that I had to do in the car. I got on the phone with our executive director, actually, for a late night meeting, updating each other about the various work that has been done and is about to be done in the coming days. Settled into the hotel, got a brief night's sleep, because the next morning, Wednesday, May 8th, I had a plane that took off at 7 a.m., so I obviously had to be ready well before that. On the plane, I continued to do work on my laptop, and then in the car from the airport back to my office, and that work involved things like the following. Those invitations to clergy for the upcoming political conference, plans for our next pastoral team meeting, approval of the June travelogue for Priests for Life, arrangement for remembering people in prayers and masses for Mother's Day, the other priests that are on our team, preparing a fax to go out to all Catholic parishes, preparing for the Good Shepherd Clergy Training Seminar online, preparing for the visit of Father David Begany to our office, one of our staff priests, preparing a quote for a press release for the Do No Harm Coalition, a coalition I'm part of here in Florida to stop this pro-abortion amendment. And then, let's see, did also preparation for thank you letters that have to be updated and preparation for some appearances, upcoming appearances on Newsmax. Got back to my office happily, started interacting and intersecting with various staff right away. What I had to do was then welcome after a couple of meetings with staff, making sure things were underway for the day, and I welcomed Graham Ledger. He's a media personality in conservative media. He was in the area, wanted to stop by. I gave him a tour of the office. We did a little taping right here on camera, and then he left. And then I did back to my desk and also meeting with other staff. I had to tape also a couple of short spots in here for myself and some of our other broadcasts. Then was back in here at 3 p.m. for a taping for our programs again of Bishop Aubrey Shines, and we had a great conversation. Taped a little bit more after that as well. And then at 4 o'clock, had a meeting with our media firm and some of our key administrative and executive staff together with our media firm, strategizing and planning for getting into more media. That lasted for about a half hour, and then I got on the phone with our executive director who was up in Canada, had just arrived in Canada for the following day's Canada March for Life. Was on the phone with her for about a half hour, and then at 5:15 hopped onto a radio show that wanted to interview me. That interview was about 15 minutes, and then at 5:30 I read the end of day reports from the staff. And then at 6 p.m. began driving over to Merritt Island. Again, Janet is traveling. I was happy to check in on the dogs in the evening and did some work there on Merritt Island. While driving at 6 p.m., did the phone call, end of day update phone call with our executive assistant, Mark, and then reviewed in the evening work on Merritt Island the pastoral team's schedule for the May meeting that is coming up. Then on Thursday, the 9th of May, checked in with staff in the morning, had various work to do on my laptop, email, and at my desk, referencing the visit of Father Begany to our office, tapings that we're planning for him to do, invitations to the political conference, Good Shepherd seminar, and invitations for upcoming trips that I need to consider and plan for. At 9:30 in the morning, did a taping here with one of our employees. Every once in a while we introduce you to some of our employees, and that was a nice one. With Barbara, who's in our data department. You'll see that soon if you haven't already, talking about how happy she is to work here with our Priest for Life team, with people like Janet, our executive director, who makes everyone feel really like a Priest for Life family. Did that taping for about 15-20 minutes, and then I had to get in my car, drive about an hour into Orlando for a special luncheon with the Republican Women of Florida Federated. It's a special federation of groups throughout the state, and this group in West Orange County that is there in Orlando was a fantastic group, and I spoke to them about this Amendment 4, this pro-abortion amendment that we have to stop. They were so enthusiastic. We made plans. They understood it very well. I networked with the people there, fantastic people. And then, I guess I left there at about 2 o'clock and drove back to the office. On my way back, was on the phone with various people that I had to reach. And when I got back to my office, right away connected with staff again. And then I had a 4:30 meeting with a couple of our video and social media team. And then at 5 o'clock, I actually got in my car, went back to Merritt Island, again was watching the doggy, our mascots, doggies in the evening. But at 5 o'clock I had a call with some of our executive team and our web designer 5:45, another executive administrative call. And then I settled in Merritt Island and jumped onto a 6:30 call for about an hour with the Do No Harm Coalition. Again, Florida pro-life groups fighting the pro-abortion ballot initiative. Then I did some more quiet work into the evening. So there it is, May the 7th, May 8th, May 9th, 2024. I love telling you what I do because I love what I do, and I know you love it too, this great pro-life movement. There's nothing like it, and we are on the path of victory. Friends, thank you for your support. We will talk to you soon.